These are the faces of hopeful students on a special day.
So I just want to say thank you everyone for coming today. It's an exciting day for our Peel Region 7 class who will be graduating.
A graduation ceremony just like many others. These students have spent 15 weeks of intense learning at NPower Canada, a non-profit firm that aims to reduce poverty by training young people to work in the growing tech industry. Nearly all of these graduates will go on to find work in the IT field.
When we launched the program 5 years ago in the GTA, youth unemployment was quite high. And so Toronto was identified as a community that had not only a need on the youth unemployment side, but also a large tech sector that could provide jobs for those youth. So we're the catalyst to bring those two things together. So youth unemployment still remains high, and it's especially high for youth who might be a newcomer or a visible minority, LGBTQ community. There are lots of youth that, depending on their profile, could have an unemployment rate that's 2 to 3 times the average rate in their community. So that's a lot of the population that we work with. A third of our youth are newcomers, 92% are visible minorities. We're really looking at youth who have multiple barriers to employment and that just aren't gaining access to meaningful employment.
Hello graduates and distinguished guests. I want to welcome you all on behalf of the graduating class.
Young people like Ruth Wolebo, a refugee from Ethiopia.
Moving to Canada, it was like my first experience moving out of my country, my family, and people I know, like a culture I know. So seven months ago when I moved to Canada, I left behind my job, my family, and every experience I have back there. So it was a big move for me.
Even before graduating, Ruth landed a job at Ecobee, a company that makes smart thermostats, a direct result of the program. But Ruth says she also got much more than skills training at NPower.
They helped us believe in ourselves. It was a fast-paced program for just 15 weeks, but they helped us and encouraged us to go through that. Even my colleagues and like other fellow students with me that will be graduating, we helped each other out. And like I said, I have no one here. I know no one when I came here. So I got family and friends from the program, and it was really helpful for me to be in this program. And yeah, now I can say I have got all I need.
About 80% of students are employed within 6 months of graduating. NPower Canada credits its strong relationship with tech companies to identify what's needed most in an industry constantly evolving.
We're not training for training's sake. We're really working with employers to understand exactly what they need. What are the jobs they're trying to fill, and what are the skills that they need to fill those jobs? So that informs our curriculum and our training so that we ensure that the youth that come through our program, as soon as they're done, they're job ready. They're really custom trained for those employers.
Their first training program graduated 87 students. That was in 2015. NPower Canada has since grown to 3 sites in the GTA and 1 in Calgary. Last year, nearly 600 youth graduated. Demand is so high, another GTA location is opening later this year.
When you see those results and you see students from maybe day one till they get that job offer, what's that like?
Watching the transformation, hearing the youth speakers talk about their journey and where they were 15 weeks ago and where they are now, and the employers that come, it's thrilling for everyone because the model works. You know, we've taken someone that maybe didn't have hope, and maybe was even on government support, and now they're like, oh look, I just was offered a job by this great company.
Excited, yeah, and I feel confident. Like they prepare us for very well.
Bara Maklouf moved here from Syria with her family with a university degree, but not many prospects.
So I was a newcomer to Canada, and I hold a bachelor degree in electrical engineering from my country, Syria. So when I came here, I was struggling to find a job. Due to me lacking of Canadian experience. So I started to feel like stuck and discouraged.
NPower helped her pursue her passion for technology and land a job with software giant Mozilla.
You finished the program and then you got a job offer.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Wow. I never dreamed to work with a company like Mozilla. And in this period, less than 1 year in Canada, then I got my job. And I feel confident with all Canadian culture and with my technical skills. They groomed us to be professional in the workplace.
So coming into Canada in 2017, and it was really difficult, getting a job.
Rahimat Yusuf immigrated from Nigeria. She first worked at a factory to support herself, but studied IT back home. She graduated from NPower 2 years ago and got a job at consulting firm eTech, where she's been ever since.
The job is not in the class. The main job is after the program, because that's when you get to face the real life. You don't have instructors, so you have to just be careful. You need to pay attention as well. So at that point, you have limited mistakes that you can make. You cannot always make mistakes. So I feel that's where the support is mostly needed, and which NPower provides. They provide that, and they really do that very well.
NPower follows up with graduates for 5 years, offering services from coaching to counseling.
What is your life like now compared to when you first started and maybe weren't sure what was going to happen in Canada for you?
So compared to then, it was at that time, I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to do, because it was IT is a very broad industry. So you need to be able to identify what you like or what aspects you're able to work better at or something. So I was all over the place. I was taking different things and just doing a whole lot of things. But working now in eTech or at eTech, I'm able to work in different areas, and I now know exactly what I want to go, which path I want to be at.